Goods and Services Tax Council, GST Council, is a constitutional body for making recommendations to the union and state government on issues related to goods and service tax. The 101st Amendment Act of 2016 was instrumental in introducing the Goods and Services Tax, GST, in India, creating a new tax regime. To ensure effective administration of this tax, it necessitated cooperation and coordination between the central and state authorities. To facilitate this collaboration, the amendment provided for the establishment of the GST Council. A new Article 279A was inserted into the Constitution of India, empowering the President to constitute this council through an official order. Consequently, in 2016, the President issued the order, formally constituting the GST Council. The Council's Secretariat is headquartered in New Delhi, with the Union Revenue Secretary serving as the ex officio Secretary to the Council. The GST Council, chaired by the Union Finance Minister, comprises finance ministers or ministers in charge of finance or taxation from the various states and union territories with legislatures. The Council's primary responsibility is to foster consensus and cooperation among the central and state governments on matters concerning GST, including tax rates, exemptions, and administrative aspects. By setting up the GST Council, the amendment aimed to ensure a unified approach to tax policy and administration, leading to a streamlined and efficient GST system in the country. Vision: to establish the highest standards of the cooperative federation in the functioning of the Council, which is the first constitutional federal body vested with powers to take all major decisions relating to GST. Mission: evolving by a process of wider consultation, a GST structure, which is information technology driven and user friendly. The GST Council in India is composed of various members, as follows: Chairman. The Union Finance Minister serves as the chairman of the GST Council. Member. The Union Minister of State in charge of Revenue or Finance is a member of the GST Council. State representatives. There is one member from each state who is either the minister in charge of finance or taxation or any other minister nominated by the state government. Among these state representatives, one is elected as the vice chairman of the GST Council through mutual elections. Note: the Secretary of the Revenue Department works as the ex officio Secretary to the GST Council, providing administrative support. The chairperson of the Central Board of Excise and Customs is a permanent invitee to all the proceedings of the GST Council but does not have voting rights. This composition ensures representation from both the central and state governments and promotes cooperative decision-making on matters related to GST, including tax rates, exemptions, and administrative issues. Quorum and decision-making in GST Council. Quorum: for a valid meeting, at least 50% of the total number of members of the GST Council should be present. Decision-making: every decision made during the meeting requires the support of at least 75% majority of the weighted votes of the members present and voting. Weighted voting principle. Article 279A divides the total weighted votes cast between the central government and state governments. The central government's vote carries a weight of 1/3 of the total votes. The state government's votes together carry a weight of 2/3 of the total votes cast in the meeting. Validity of acts, decisions, and proceedings. Any act, decision, or proceeding of the GST Council will not be declared invalid on the basis of the following: vacancies remaining in the Council, defects in the constitution of the Council, defects in the appointment of a person as a member of the Council, procedural non-compliance. These provisions ensure that the GST Council operates effectively and takes decisions with due representation from the central and state governments. The weighted voting mechanism also reflects the collective decision-making power between the central and state authorities while ensuring the smooth functioning of the Council. Additionally, the validation of acts and decisions despite any deficiencies at the time of establishment or operation of the Council promotes continuity and stability in the decision-making process. Functions of the GST Council: recommendations on levy and laws, making recommendations on the principles of levy and model goods and services tax laws to the union and state governments. Interstate trade tax, Article 269A, suggesting the rate of goods and services tax to be levied on supplies in the course of interstate trade or commerce under Article 269A of the Constitution. Resource mobilization during calamity, recommending special rates or a specified period for raising additional resources during natural calamities or disasters. Other matters related to GST, deciding on any other matter relating to the goods and services tax as deemed necessary by the Council. Subsuming taxes, cess, and surcharges, determining the taxes, cess, and surcharges to be subsumed under the GST system. Goods and services classification, providing details of goods and services that will be subjected to GST or exempted from GST. Threshold limits for exemption, deciding the threshold limit below which goods and services will be exempted from GST. GST rates and special provisions, setting the GST rates, including flow rate with bands, and establishing any special rates to tackle specific situations, such as natural calamities. Special provisions for certain states, making special provisions for states like Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Jammu and Kashmir, Manipur, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Nagaland, Sikkim, Tripura, Himachal Pradesh, and Uttarakhand. Model law and principles, formulating the model law on GST and determining the principles of levy and those governing the place of supply. The GST Council plays a vital role in guiding and coordinating the implementation of the goods and services tax in India, ensuring harmonization between the central and state taxation systems and facilitating a smooth and efficient tax regime. Thank you.